Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this titanic clash of Windmill virgins. Lots of players with experience, but these two teams never being to the tournament before. Interacting is McDuff from Australia. That shot coming all the way from Sydney and collected by their captain. Brilliant stuff out of the sun, and it is shining today. It is my pleasure to be Lorcan Murray. Once more, it's your loss but my gain. And here joining me, everybody's benefit, the wonderful, the irreparable, the irreplicatable,
and the unhearable Elshak.
Like a ghost in the night, gently haunting your dreams. Elshak, her smooth, dulcet tones, somewhat ruined by her addiction to partying and a good time already. But if you have a similar enough craving, well then trust me, you've come to the right place to satisfy those needs. We're here at the Windmill, the 15th anniversary. We are watching McDuff from Sydney, Australia, taking on the Belarusian national team. Both teams have never set foot on these hollowed rugby pitches before. In fact, we have a couple of brand new people to being live streamed for the first time. So do you think they will shirk or strike in the sunlight today?
Well, sun's out, guns out, and Australia, we do like the sun a little bit more than what we've been having, so I think McDuff will probably thrive in these conditions compared to the earlier winter from the last two rounds.
As they're working together difficultly, that's Pimashev who gets the dump. Taken in by Falkman, who sends one streaking deep immediately. Pimashev's on the other end of it. We've had two possessions, two deep shots for collections. Bang, bang, Elshak.
Don't you?
So, don't shoot, not something I think either of these teams are willing to take into account. As we see there, McDuff, who started on offense, calling for 4 women, trying to back their girls. McDuff coming out of Darlinghurst in Sydney, which is something you might know a little bit more about. Opposite side of the island to you, though.
Yeah, I'm from the west and the best coast.
West
Sadly.
West Coast.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all I can say about that.
Well, so far we have seen Belarus and McDuff go toe-to-toe. You gotta say Belarus looking slightly more composed, which is impressive. First time the Belarusian national team has ever made an appearance at Windmill. A lot of these players do have experience playing here before on club teams, on pickup teams. A lot of people make that pilgrimage to the ultimate mecca that is Windmill, here in its 15th iteration. And what a wonderful tournament we have, what a wonderful weekend ahead of us. And a big shout out to everybody watching on both hemispheres right now.
That's true, it's kind of a nice early evening back home in Australia for the Sydney Siders and that New South Wales, the rest of the state, to watch some of their friends.
Kulikowska sends that down the line to Gray. He has a dump available from a Prefa. Instead goes for the difficult break all the way to Spafford, making her first appearance on a live stream ever and getting a completion. That's how you want to start it. Chung sends that back into the middle. Brufat waiting for it and spreading it around again. This is nice, comfortable play. Gray looking to operate in the shades. Gets it to Spafford directly in front of him. And she plays it down the line. Ruse looks to shoot it to the end zone and it bounces out of the hands of his intended receiver. An unfortunate turnover following what was quite a confident and controlled offensive play.
That's the excitement corner over there, really. Nothing else happening anywhere else on the field at the moment. It's a place to be. Like, we've got a good view of it.
Well, the place to be is certainly here at Windmill 2019. As we watch Belarus with their first opportunity for a break. Let's see what they can do. Sent back into the middle of the end zone. A couple of options, but stealing through and taking away the disc. Prefat immediately establishing himself as a threat. No. Goes for the pop pass, doesn't work. Somehow they're able to get it to the end. A little bit of physical play, and there's a foul called on that one. That involving Tarasenko on the defensive end, uncontested. We appreciate the hand signals, everybody. Ruse. Aussie hat on.
A bit lazy with that throw there, trying to get into the end zone a bit cheekily.
And that one got a lot of float under it, but plenty of time. And it's collected by Kulikowska.
Yeah, I don't know what McDuff were doing at the front of the end zone there earlier. I think they might have underestimated their opponents just a little bit.
Perhaps overestimating themselves.
True. Have they confused ambition with capability? As my father would say.
Will they meet with triumph or disaster and treat those two imposters just the same? As here we are at Windmill. The sunlight beating down with the same ferocity of the rain a mere hour ago. And as the weather switches wildly from one extreme to the other, can we expect the same from this game? McDuff able to get the hold despite giving up a turn. 2-1. They're out there. Both these teams a little bit of an unknown quantity. Very excited to see them go at it here in the early stages of Swiss Draw, where every single point counts. Something I'm sure you've heard on the stream several times by this point.
But just in case.
Just in case. You're only tuning in for this one. I would advise you to stick around as it only gets better from here. As now Belarus going in the opposite direction. Good work down the pitch. Looking for options. Juking and jiving in the dump position, Tarasenko. They go for the break, sweeping it to the middle of the pitch. Very well done. Batikinya dumping it back. Gagliarda sends a huge shot. Plenty of time, plenty of space, but well D'd up and peeling off the end. Something you see quite a lot in mixed. Poach defensive block.
Yep, definitely there, and no chivalry shown.
So Gagliarda, somebody we can certainly rely on to send it deep. That's number 88 for Belarus. I like these Belarusian jerseys. Understated, but still a little pop color.
McDuff going for their traditional duff here.
As now they try to work it down. Get a break. It's comfortable and controlled play right now. Jacobson starting to feel the pressure. The Stolkamp getting higher, forced to put a big one up. Gets away with it somehow. Ten Bersh, but he flubs his lines a little bit. And allow Belarus another opportunity for the hold.
What's flop mean?
Means to fumble, really.
Oh, okay.
Gagliarda probably going to shoot the end zone. He does have end zone eyes. Rusachenka. Disc in the middle of the pitch. Gets back to Gagliarda. The two of them just happy to dump it between each other while they wait for a cut they like the look of. They are slowly being pushed back. Somehow squeezes that one through.
That was
well taken in. They go for the pop over the top.
Oh no, that's unfortunate there.
Does not work out for them.
No. Good pressure there from Duff.
Very good pressure, locking down field and just letting the handlers dump it back to each other, but not easy dumps. They were taking immediate throws that can lead to miscommunication, can lead to turns. Good test here for the national side.
Oh.
Or maybe not that trying a one. Can't quite pull off the dump. Very little wind. As here come Belarus. And a comfortable score in the end. It's Gagliarda getting it to Rusachenka. Two players already establishing themselves early as powerhouses on this Belarusian side.
Is that every goal's been scored in that section now?
Yes, it has. 2-2, 4 offensive holds, still waiting for a break. And we might be waiting a while if things keep up like this.
That's right. We don't have to pay for seats here because anyone paid seat down at the other end zone would be disappointed and want their money back because all of the action has been in front and center to the left of our screen.
It is interesting to try and work out who will be the first to get a break, who will be the first to score in the right-hand side of our screen. McDuff have had 2 chances, weren't able to capitalize on either of them. Belarus have also had 1, all 3 of them getting close to the end zone, and all 3 of them just kind of coming down to a little bit too lackadaisical a play at the final asking.
Nice. I think that's the Belarus captain there of the disc. He also came and volunteered at Windmill 2 years ago now.
Understand his eagerness to get back here. That is the Belarusian captain Butnik with the big pull. It's now McDuff. Look to answer back themselves. Thinking about the deep shot, not thinking too long. Great correction and collection by Ruse. Pops it to the sideline, the waiting hands of Mazar. He's taking his time. Gets it down the line. Cheng gets it back into the middle. This is smooth, relaxed play. Back to Ruse. Striking down the line, looking for the score. Prefa. And Ruse throws his defender to the ground, goes for the big hammer, but a bit too far ahead. It was intended receiver. Gulakowska, another player who has quickly established herself as key to the offense.
Yeah, definitely. And there is a breeze, slight breeze going across in that direction, so they've been just catching it and pushing it out of play.
Now Budnik, the man we know is a bit of a gunslinger. Out here in the baking sun, might be willing to take on a shot. The wind is picking up ever so slightly. Earlier games much calmer though in the rain. With the sunshine, the wind seems to have come out.
Much more pleasant though for us.
Considerably more pleasant for us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for the players who don't have to deal with the slippy discs. Budnik again centres it. That's Sorokina. Sends it down the line. Falkman, back to Sorokina. She's looking, doesn't like her options. Budnik working very hard to get the dump. And that was not an easy catch for him. This is good defense by McDuff. Slowing everything down, gumming it up. Forcing them to go back. Sorokina tries to get the swing off, does so. It's Tarasenko. One of two Tarasenkos on the team. And he spreads that one out wide. It gets a little bit of a boost. But beautifully milked and then thrown directly into the ground. Falkman.
So excited by the really good effort on that catch, I feel, and then just didn't quite hold on the grip long enough.
So now, McDuff get another look in. Trying to maintain this hold. Kulikowska with the disc. Polish descent in the uprising shorts. Ripping Vorklov. She goes for that one comfortably into Ruse. He breaks it well back. Prefot gets away with that one, misses the original receiver, gets it to Mazar, pretends that's what he wanted the whole time. Prefot again, or Prefot, if you wanted the proper French pronunciation, gets it to Ruse. Nice isolation at the front of the stack. Spofford, Mazar. This is good, controlled play, not forcing anything. And a beautiful L-cut by Spofford. First time on the stream, first score as well, 3-2.
A little bit nice, wasn't that play there?
I always love that. When you go up the line, attract the defense's attention, make them bid to stop the front corner score, plant, turn. Mazar seemed to know the whole time what he wanted and that it was coming to him. So nice, patient, relaxed throw for the score. So we've seen some deep shots. And here, you see the other kind of score. Spofford just showing off her skills. And there's the cut we're talking about, attracting the defense's attention. Falls asleep. Never turn your back to the action. And that goes for everybody at home. You want to keep your eyes on this action here at the Windmill YouTube channel. We are putting it out for how much?
Nothing.
$3.99.
Oh.
$3.99, Elshak.
I was giving it away because mine's so bad. Sorry, people. I feel I should pay you to listen to this voice. The comments are good, but they're mostly in my head.
Your schizophrenia can't quite be broadcast yet. Hopefully your health will improve, and until then you could just take in some of this beautiful sunshine and the great ultimate with it. There's the big shot. We were all waiting for it. It's tearing down the line. Two players. What a grab. Phenomenal stuff by Pimashev.
Nice take. The height differential there. Just let him grab it above his opponent.
And I think McDuff's starting to realize something that we on the stream have noticed ourselves. Galyada likes to send it. He waited for a long time. Eventually Pimashev gave him the cut he was looking for. So 3-3. Belarus looking a little bit more comfortable, if I'm being honest with you. What do you think, Elshak?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's they probably just had a little bit of a lunch break, early lunch, warm up, get a little bit sleepy, and then boom, game on. Now they're back in mode, I feel.
Well, 3-3. Both teams still looking for a break. Well, McDuff will need to get the hold first. Mazar there just acting as a relay.
How Mazar.
How Mazar. How Mazar. So, McDuff sticking with their 4 women. Trusting the X chromosomes to get it done.
Is that
Women are XX, men are XY.
Sounds like I'm still going through puberty, so.
Sounds like I'm being a little extra.
We'll see what happens. Aggressive. I just got what you said there. Good one, Hawks.
And Elshak arriving on time to the game and late to my punchlines, as is tradition. As now we see McDuff looking for their 4th score of the game. I'd like to see a deep shot straight away. Wouldn't really mind who to. walking to that brick mark. Mazar gets it across to Prefo. Prefo wants the high release backhand, doesn't get it. Mazar, tall man. Kulikowska tries to get it to Ruse. Lots of pressure on the defensive end. Tarasenko making his presence felt.
Yeah, foul called. A little discussion here.
Really appreciate the hand signals being used, communicating well what's going on. Uncontested foul.
I'm trying to use my hand signals here, but it's really not getting captured by the camera on the live
Well,
stream.
that's the problem when people can only hear your voice and they can't really see you. As we see Prefo making a great dump cut. And Spafford can't get there. Kulikowska. Mazar thinks about the shot to the end zone now. You know he wants that dump. Kulikowska. Middle of the pitch in every sense of the word. Pointing, directing, shooting. She's got Prefo underneath it, and it's a wonderful throw over the top of the defender, but Prefo couldn't quite read it. So they get away with that one. I believe it was Marsh who was caught out of position.
Yeah, tried to get the tailing edge there, just could not hold on enough.
It's always difficult to just pinch that one out of the sky. Not coming up rosy-cheeked on that instance. So Budnik taking his time. Another player not afraid to send it.
You got legs that long, they'll literally stroll. He's quiet, you make up a long distance.
Not something either of us have much experience with.
I've heard about it though.
Oh, and Spofford is making herself quite the reputation today.
Ouch.
First time on a stream, and it is going well for her. That's a D.
Definitely performing well.
Kulikowska, again directing traffic, pointing where she wants it. Ruse. Brilliant defensive block. Tries to get the Prefo on the quick dump.
Anything you can do, we can do better. That like that, I like it.
Very wise to it. Stepping forward and slapping it away. So I believe this is the furthest downfield we've seen anyone with a break opportunity get.
I know, I'm always having to look into the sun.
So Budnik
Almost.
just standing there, yelling, and there's the deep shot we were waiting for. He sends it arcing all the way across the opposite side of the pitch. Can Marsh get there and keep it in? No! Comes very close to braining himself on the railing.
Oh, yuck. That was really grossly scary. All right, everyone just calm down.
Everybody needs to relax, otherwise their face is going to wind up looking like what your voice sounds like.
I'm not even offended by that. That is true. Well, that was a little bit exciting, but not for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. Now Mazar going for a huge deep shot himself. He has Ruse all the way down the pitch. Tarasenko in position. Ruse still there. It's available for him. What a grab! Brilliant collection on the second chance. Phenomenal stuff out of the Aussie.
Oh, and here comes the Windmill Scarecrow delivering me some more glasses of water. Excellent. Great work there from the bar staff.
Great work there from Ruse. You have to say, kind of bailing out a questionable decision by Mazar. Didn't really think that was on. Tarasenko was there the whole time. Gets the touch, but Ruse showing that maybe it was a trap. Maybe he was waiting for that touch.
Just seeing the replay there of that contest and then a little bit of a tap on. Managed to collect it.
Brilliant reception. See Mazar just rolling his shoulder into it, unleashing the shot. Tarasenko gets up there, gets the touch, but it's not enough.
This is how I have now got a paddle of glasses full of warm water. Excellent.
Everything you could ever need. And exactly when you need it. So here come Belarus, looking for another offensive hold. Going to the break side, but a mistake is made. Throwing before the cutter completed their move, so that's 10 Bursch, who gets the D. Swings it down to Gray, now in front of the end zone. He pops it back to Kasuya. Kasuya tries to go down the line. There's a lot of flow on that one. And McDuff get away with it again. Hops over the head of 4 people, eventually winding up in the hands of her intended receiver, Clark, but about 10 feet further down than she intended for him to get it.
Classic second chance draw there.
So McDuff seem to have the gods on their side right now. And they get the first break of the game, pushing it out to 5-3.
Good commitment there not to give up after it already gone over his head.
So we see here, she just goes to the down the line flick. Bit too much bop on it. Just watch it sail over everybody. Clark collecting it. the other end.
Yeah, good read there.
So Macduff draw first blood in terms of a break. Started the game on offense, and with these 70-minute games, that is a critical score. 21 minutes already gone. It's been a high-octane affair.
It has. We've had a lot of action. Now using all the pitch. It's unusual. Near fence, death, injury.
These kinds of things can happen if you're not careful.
Good times. Good times.
It was the best of times.
It was the blurst of times. Shout out to all the Simpsons fans watching.
Don't you worry if you're a Simpsons fan. You are in for an awful lot of poorly remembered references. As here come Belarus, trying to turn this game into a happy memory for themselves. But there comes the block, sprinting through the captain's son, celebrating. He knows he's on the stream, spending that money, making it rain on a sunny day. Mazar, he's already made one sketchy pass. Kulikowska gets it all the way across. Waiting there is Mazar. We actually have two number 6s. I'm going to call them both Mazar because that's what happens. And he gets that score in.
That is Mazar.
It's quite frankly a bazaar of Mazar right now. That's B-A-Z-A-A-R for the reference. The bazaar of Mazar.
So McDuff now extending their lead here by 3 points. That could be enough to see them to win this game.
But it's not all about winning, Elshak, because this is probably the first time anybody listening at home has heard this. But here at Windmill with the Swiss draw, every point counts.
It's true. And everybody counts.
Everybody always counts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, no, I know a couple of people who are numerically challenged. So not everybody can count, but everybody should count.
Shout out to those with dyscalculia. It's a real disease.
No, it isn't. That's not a thing.
Yes, it is.
What, is that like just dyslexia, but for maths?
Yeah, it is.
Dyscalculia?
Yeah. I'm a maths teacher. It's a thing. We have to learn about it.
I still can't believe people let you near their children. I wouldn't feel comfortable with
I
you
don't
around my
normally
adult
sound
siblings.
like this.
Yeah, but you always are who you are. As now we see Belarus trying to prove who they are here at Windmill 2019. Rusichenka, beautiful break to Budnik, his captain. He's got an option down the line, but decides against it. Now trying to get it back into the middle. Kalyada. Budnik almost trying to disguise a deep cup. He's got Ruse on him, one of the more athletic players for McDuff. Good switching being done downfield by McDuff to try and limit the options for Belarus. Big hammer over the top. That's how you counteract a switch. You punish the poach. Excellent stuff. Volkman. Well, I was told she was Volkman. That's what we're going to call her.
Yeah.
Gets it back to Kalyada. Kalyada, thinking about it, goes with a slightly easier option. Straight in front of Pimashev. Pimashev has a break available and takes it into the arms of the waiting Batikina.
We have not rehearsed their names. So.
I'd like to say I didn't rehearse their names. I tried.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Belarus is somewhat foreign to my tongue, and I'm doing my best. Well, I'm doing my best given that I stayed up all night last night and it's Windmill.
And I didn't. I went to bed at 9:30.
See, that's what happens.
Like this.
This is what happens when you don't fully embrace Windmill.
So
You've been cursed.
stay tuned tomorrow.
This is the anti-crack curse. It's a very real thing.
And that's crack with an eye, everybody.
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
I'm not.
So Belarus scored to make it 5-4. They're still looking for a break. And now the wind really starting to swell. Timely for Macduff as it's blowing from the right-hand side to the left.
Thank goodness the sun has come back. That's probably why Macduff didn't get that score. It got a bit cold again.
Perhaps they need to put their captain's son back out on the pitch.
We're solar powered in Australia.
That's why so many of you get melanoma.
Nothing healthy about a tan.
Galakowska to Mazar. Galakowska. That's beautiful opening play from McDuff. Shea sends it down the line. Gray Gets back to Mazar in the middle. Looking to spread it out. Sides again, sending it to Shea, but goes for the big shot. Kalikowska's all the way down there. Gray's in back up.
Oh.
And they try to get up there. Kalikowska gets absolutely cleaned out.
I feel the McDuff play there, maybe.
See, he tried to not physically assault the female receivers while still trying to get the grab that he knew he could. Gratuity not quite paid by Tarasenko, who went with a slightly more physical approach to defense.
That's right, the discussion will happen. We might see a replay of it.
So now we see Tarasenko talking about it with Kulikowska. I'm not going to lie, I can't really justify Tarasenko making that move. That is a dangerous play if you can't get the D without making contact. And he made an awful lot of contact. Continuing to talk about it. So let us continue to talk about what a wonderful weekend we have in store for you at Windmill 2019. 3 days, plenty of action, 2 pitches, all for free on YouTube. Oh, what do you make of that?
That's the bargain of the century. Just going to say that much. And shout out to all my fans there. Apologies for the conditions.
Your rabid fans back home, fuming.
Mate, I got international fans.
Oh, okay, yeah. Elshak, known all over the world.
Yeah.
Well traveled.
Definitely.
Any of your students from your maths class tuning in, you reckon?
No, don't tell them.
You don't want them to know? It's probably for the best. It's a good thing my employers don't know that this is the thing I was going to do. I talk for a living, and I need to get all of the stuff that could get me fired out over the course of this weekend. That's another benefit. We're not really representing anybody except Windmill and ourselves, which is otherwise known as giving someone enough rope to hang themselves with. As Mazar gets the disc back. Contested foul. Tarasenko takes a position behind Gray again. Kalikowska, I really thought he was going to have that. Mazar has Shea in front of him. Decides against it. Instead goes with the break. All the way up and around and well taken in by Larson. Gets to Gray. Decides against the break throw to Larson. She cuts back. She's in plenty of space. Budnik almost able to sneak in and steal that. Kalikowska in front of the end zone. Wants the hammer. Instead goes with the down the line. Huge layout D. Tarasenko all over it.
Right into the pallets.
Slamming that door shut in the face of Gray. Well, if you like punishment, Tarasenko's got plenty for you. There's now Budnik. I am genuinely terrified. We have no safety bar behind us. I'm going to get excited, step backwards, and just...
I'm ready to grab your arm and save you.
Well, that'll explain any screaming that you happen to hear. As here come Belarus, trying to scream their way back into this game. That's Shevchenko, one of the 2 Shevchenko twins on the team. Sends it down the line. Taken in by Zrotkin.
Shout out to Liam, who's just delivered me some Dutch drop volley things. I don't know what they are.
Sarakino tries to get to Tarasenko. He bobbles it a little bit, but is able to hold on. Zrotnya.
The wind is now shifting.
She has the option down the line, and she gives it to Sorokina, but unfortunately Sorokina can't hold on.
The wind can't be blamed for that. Just a little bit too excited.
A teensy bit too excited. The adrenaline starting to pump as Mazar goes to put it forward. He loves that inside-out flick break, but it's not quite enough for Sun to get onto the end of it. You could see him pumping his little legs and bursting his little heart to try and get to that disc. But unfortunately,
hey, he's got heart
coming up short.
Mate.
He's got a lot of heart in him. Leading this Sydney side here in Amsterdam. The level and breadth of international representation at Windmill this year is absolutely fantastic. I believe we have 5 continents represented.
Out of
7?
Yeah, I think that's right.
As Tarasenko looks to send that into the middle, is able to. Zrotnya tries to get to Budnik, but the wind starting to exert its influence ever more so with each passing second. As Mazar looks to continue his own, but instead calls for a timeout. Excellent defensive pressure by Belarus. They were looking to play it quickly.
Very long point.
You have to respect that decision. Score at 5-4. McDuff don't want to give up a break. They fought hard to get their advantage in this game. Getting a little bit lucky on the shot that scored it, but still, they don't want to give it all away just yet. So, Al, what do you make of the first 30 minutes of this game that we've had so far?
Sunny, funny. And I don't know, I think McDuff haven't exerted too much dominance. Had to come back.
So McDuff, just to clarify for everybody at home who may have noticed the disparity between the scoreboard on the screen and the score that we are presenting in the top left-hand corner, it's actually 6-4 to McDuff right now. They're to capitalize on their upwind break, turn into another break for themselves. 2 points up. This is a critical point in the game. The way Swiss Draw is designed is that if two teams are next to each other in the ranking, it should theoretically be a universe point game. So in the first few rounds of the tournament, there's a certain level of ass kicking doled out as the seedings slowly correct themselves and properly place people who might have been seeded slightly too high or slightly too low. And we start to see more and more even games. And what that means for you at home is that every passing time slot, each game gets better and better. If not the level of play, then certainly the level of intensity, as the teams become more and more evenly matched over the course of the weekend.
All right, so timeout is over. Players getting set in position. McDuff in possession.
Azar with the disc. Immediately goes to Kulikowska. Tries to get it back, but Budnik sniffs it out and takes a bite out of that offense.
Oh.
So now he wanted to go. There was nobody who felt comfortable shooting it to him.
He looked disappointed on his face too. He just tells the story. He wanted that.
So Tarasenko able to get it in the middle of the pitch. Doesn't really have a whole lot going on for him. Sarokina was behind him. Instead he goes with Shevchenko. Shevchenko gets it down the line to Sarokina. Sarokina, this is better from Belarus. It's the most comfortable they've looked going this direction. Zorotniak gets it to Budnik. Budnik waiting for somebody. Tarasenko goes to the easy horizontal cut, but it's very difficult to hit. Sarokina tries to throw the break, but it was always going too close to the ground, despite the best earnest efforts of Marsh. So now we see Sun with a hilarious number 69. It's his number, and I'm just saying it's funny. Gray, he has Shea going deep for him. Shea continues the cut for Sun, but doesn't think about it. Sun absolutely launches one. Shevchenko, the male twin, underneath it, but can't quite get there. Brilliant shot. Excellent read, and that makes it 7-4 for a comfortable lead.
Yeah, Sun's out, Sun's out. Now Logan's lost his voice, but he's just laughing at that great joke. Yeah, great joke.
Have you ever had something happen to you that every part of your body says no, but at the same time you enjoy? It's just, yeah, you gotta give props where props are due. Phenomenal stuff from Sun, taking it on. I thought Shea was maybe a little bit skeptical. Even the way that shot came out, it didn't look like Sun is normally known for sending it deep. But that one, a shout out to Sydney and all the people back home in Darlinghurst. This team, a mixture of people who have traveled all the way from Australia and people who've simply played in Darlinghurst in the past or played for the team in different iterations.
Reunion.
Exactly, reunion here in Amsterdam. Fun caveat, number 99, Larson, never actually played in Australia. So now here come Belarus, 3 points down, but not willing to show it in their spirit. Flying down the pitch, excellent stuff out of them. Pietro gets it back into the middle, waiting there for Rusichenka. Spreading it out on the opposite sideline, there he is, Pimachev. Has a cut in front of him, doesn't like it. Instead opts to send it back to Cagliada. I'd like to see Cagliada do something a little bit risky. Oh, he fakes the hammer, but decides against it.
Tricky, and
that's not what Windmill is about. He didn't trick me, he got my hopes up. There's a difference.
Sure, mate.
Naniva absolutely launches that one. Brilliantly read downfield by Pimachev. And that was the kind of score they needed. And there's a little bit of a celebration to keep the spirits up. So 7-5 as we cross half-time. Doing well enough for themselves. Something I do like about the McDuff jerseys, these ones specifically, they have the Amsterdam flag on.
Do they?
Yes.
Where?
A little celebration. It's on the right shoulder. And then on the other side, they have the Aussie flag.
Yeah, I was like, that's Australia. I didn't see it. I couldn't see it.
I imagine you could recognize your own nation's flag.
Yeah, got it. One of our flags.
You have multiple flags?
Aboriginal flag and a Torres Strait Islander flag.
It's an Aboriginal flag?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. What was the other one you said?
Torres Strait Islander.
I've never heard of that before in my life. Is that another people that you brutally genocide?
I didn't.
Ah, yeah, but your granddad.
Not my granddad.
His granddad.
A few more generations.
Yeah, okay, so probably your granddad's granddad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that many generations, if we're honest.
No. We're quite young for the
Yeah.
imperial European nations trying to take over the world.
It's now here come Macduff trying to take over Amsterdam.
I don't think we're going to get called up to the Commonwealth Games anytime soon with those kind of comments.
Yes, well, I don't recognize the Commonwealth, so I'm perfectly okay with that. So you see Spafford taking on a bit of a handling role. And you've got to say, Kalikowska is having a private physical battle with Tarasenko. That one, a little bit harder. Second time he's taken a chunk out of the talismanic handler for the McDuff side. She is a big part of everything they're trying to do. Maybe a little bit of animosity between the Polish and Belarusian elements.
I see. I didn't see who came in.
Tarasenko seemed to hit her. Number 26 for Belarus. And again, it's another discussion about the validity of the foul call. So Belarus saying they're getting there first. It's afterwards. The contact seems to be coming in. Or it doesn't affect the play, which is difficult to believe, but...
Captain coming over to maybe help translate. Or give some advice.
Just waiting to see how this will shake out. Here at Windmill 2019. So much action still to come. We are only in the second round. There are 8 rounds of both open and women's and mixed.
How many rounds is that all together?
And that doesn't include the finals.
Don't avoid the question.
16.
Don't think that was right.
Well, maybe I suffer from numeralexia.
Dyscalculia.
Dyscalculia. Oh, what a great word. That would make a great rap album name, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Calculia.
Like if it was L-Dog and Shack House, Dyscalculia. It sounds like it would be fire.
Why wouldn't I just be El Shack? Why would I split myself up?
Because it's a rap name, that's how it works. That's Kalikowska. Gets it across to Mazar. He's waiting for someone to become available in front of him. No one really does. Kalikowska going to the break side again. Spofford, who I've been very impressed with so far. She tried to throw us off her trail by saying she'd only played mediocre ultimate. That's why she hadn't been on stream before.
Yeah.
Kalikowska put the wrong edge on that throw. So 7-5. Belarus with a chance to get a break and close this gap. They came close earlier on, but couldn't quite connect.
I think my DJ name at the moment would be Misheard.
Misheard.
Yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
I
What would yours be?
couldn't love that anymore. What would my DJ name be? El Fantasma.
Not your magician name, mate. Your DJ name.
Well, they're both magical experiences. So do please feel free to reach out to us on Twitter. I'm at RevLorcan.
I'm not.
On Twitter, well, reach out to me. Or reach out at Windmill. And if you want to know what you think your DJ name would be, we'd love to hear it.
That's right. Coming up, we've got a few good games. Great Britain versus Ireland in the Open Division. Field 5, this field.
That
and on
promises
the other,
to be a phenomenal
in the
game.
Women, Sweden versus Austria.
So very, very exciting matchups on the way.
Potentially, I don't know if that's officially locked in yet.
So
but
just to clarify,
could be.
there was a fantastic game between Ireland and GB 2 years ago in the build-up to Worlds at Amsterdam in Windmill in the quarter-final, and Ireland came out on top in that matchup. So Ireland do seem capable of putting it up to GB. A lot of people's perennial favourites in the open division. Very impressive GB side. It'll be interesting to see just how the Irishmen do up against them. And obviously on the women's side of things, Austria with that incredibly impressive youth division. They've been developing it for several years. Back in 2017, their women came painfully close to winning the under-20s. A lot of those women have now matured onto the senior side, bringing that pain and experience and letting it guide them, give them confidence in those situations, because how can you truly succeed if you have never truly failed?
Wow, that is deep. And now the disc is going to be coming in on the sideline in the hands of their captain.
Budnik. And he gets a lovely cut down the line.
No.
Brilliant stuff, but almost bobbled and dropped. And now she absolutely launches it underneath at Shevchenko. Great body positioning. And there was absolutely nothing Macduff could do.
Couldn't get around him at all.
Brilliant positioning by Shevchenko. Lovely shot as well. Getting it down the line, Sorokina.
No.
Almost bobbled it,
Oh,
collects it,
that
and
was a
then
bit
lashed
worrying,
it.
wasn't it?
It was, but you know what would be worrying for me if I was Macduff? It is now 6-5. Or 7-6 even. The point is, it's now a 1-point gap. And Belarus going with men. So 4 of them, we see here, there's the bobble. Collects it, sees the deep shot, Shevchenko, you know what, go get it. And it's fantastic stuff by him. Clark was doing everything he can to work his way around the big Belarusian. But it was a bit of a bust.
The human screen.
So, Belarus showing a bit of fire, showing a bit of strength and resolve. They clawed it back. They were 3 points down, back to 1.
Where is Belarus?
Belarus is in Eastern Europe.
Right near Russia.
It is very near Russia. It was the satellite state for the Soviet Republic for a very long time.
Thank you. I'm not very good at geography.
That's okay. You come from the opposite side of the world where you're just a giant desert on a rock. Geography doesn't really matter because it's all empty anyway. As here come Macduff trying to show that they're full of something. Beautiful break inside. Chung. Give me that's Kasuya. Goes for a flick. It's a bit risky. What a grab. Phenomenal stuff by Chung, who launches one herself down to get it down the pitch to Sun. He gets what could be called a foul, but stands strong, collects the disc, looks for the pop in. This is very impressive stuff by Macduff. And there is the fumble. I am sorry for all the Australian fans watching and the ones standing next to me. Kasuya, I would take full responsibility for that. I apologize.
Stings a bit.
So now Belarus looking to go downwind and get the score to tie this game up. Return it to 7s just before half. Budnik able to rescue that one. Launches it deep.
Go, gadget arms. Look at that big throw.
And March on the march and collects it at the back of the end zone for the score. 7-7. Excellent stuff out of the Belarusians. Showing a bit of confidence, showing a bit of poise in this young team.
Is this the Galaxy point?
I would think that it is Elshak.
This is my second. 2 from 2.
Well, there you go. That's what happens when you got that connection with the man in charge, the man who we all look up to, and not just because he's about 6'2", Mike Palmer.
I thought you were talking about God then.
Don't look up to God.
It's like, oh, that's okay.
Oh, he's a hypocrite.
Surprisingly, yeah. It's like, oh.
It's ridiculous. You're allowed to make people for fun, but I'm not allowed to masturbate. That doesn't seem right.
What?
It doesn't seem fair. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to the Rainbow Brigade as well. We are firmly on the side of humans. Actually a fantastic team playing in the mixed division, both in terms of purpose and in terms of talent. The Rainbow Brigade. As we get another look at that shot deep.
They're the unicorn ones too.
They are.
There's a lot of unicorn around here.
There is. There's
like
an
a
awful
lot of unicorn.
You'd think it was the Scottish national team. Because, for those of you who don't know, the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland.
A fictitious animal.
Well, nobody said it had to be a real animal.
That's hilarious.
And they checked. They went, can it be whatever we want? They goes, it can be whatever you want. But we picked the unicorn. Because that's how the Scots work. That's why their flower's the thistle.
They said this'll do.
You're just crushing it today, Elshak. I hope you can make it out at home, because I'm having a great time as Kulikowska tries to improve the mood of her team. They have been slipping, but will they stumble? Gets it back into the middle. Kulikowska, beautiful pop through, and this is much better for McDuff. Remembering the kind of offense they were playing that led them to the 7-4 lead.
This is for the Galaxy.
It is on Orion's belt, as McDuff will try to claim it for themselves. Kulikowska sends it to the end zone, but a bit too far ahead of Gray.
And the wind is picking up again. It's stop-start, much like the rain, although the rain can definitely just stop.
Yes, well, that is how weather works in the Netherlands in my experience. So, Belarus with the opportunity to break and take their first lead of the game. 7-7 the score. Tarasenko sends it down the line.
Switching.
Taken in by Shevchenko, gets it back to Sorokina. Budnik.
He's all over the disc.
Budnik does just about everything he can do, but that one bounces out of the hands of Tarasenko.
Was it a receiver error?
It's a difficult one to call.
Because I was about to be like, yeah, I know that. And
then you have to deny it for shame. Spofford walks over to pick up the disc. Talk about players who are doing everything for their team. Beautiful break all the way down the line to Mazar. So relaxed. Such beautiful play, and that makes it 8-7. So we're going to halftime. Halves very brief here at Windmill.
We're not going to take a seat because to our deaths.
We will fall. You'd have to fall pretty awkwardly if it was to your death, but it certainly would be to your decent amount of pain. So we will be back to you very shortly with the second half of action. Don't go anywhere. Thank you. Where have you gone?
What did I tell you was on this one? That's right. What else have you done today? Come on, boys.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? Great. Oh, so that's good. Okay, your drugs, your bags. Stings a bit.
Lose by one. Did you?
Did you? Digital. Oh, there's old Mike. That guy chopped it up at Beach Worlds. Hey, oh, this guy. He's smooth like a baby. Got likes on him. It's like one of those scandals. That's what get caught out. Their mics are still running.
It's Windmill, so even if our mics were turned on, we're just creeping.
This is going on the internet for that ages.
It still could be.
That's so weird because that's what it is. That's because their skin's so white. Like their chest hair's really dark. You're like a monkey. Mine's blank. Come on. God.
And we're back. Second half of action. McDuff will be sending the pull down to Belarus. Belarus look to tie it up. A couple of people in the hammocks enjoying the sun. As we are at Windmill 2019. Having a wonderful time here on the Friday. Wherever you happen to be, odds are it's at work. Trying to hide from your bosses. Well, neither of these teams looking to hide from the moment. They've both stepped up and delivered. Now Belarus hoping to push a little bit further. They closed a 3-point gap before McDuff responded to take half. 8-7. Budnik, or no, that's not Budnik. That's Galyada. Galyada has been very impressive. You know, he's got a bit of a cannon and he wants to send it. Sides against it in that instance. Rusichenka tries to get it down the line, but it bounces out of the hands of his intended receiver, Batikina. Batikina, sorry. So there we see, bouncing with the disc, Griffo. And a miscommunication, couldn't get it to Ruse.
No,
Belarus immediately stretching it in the form of Rusichenka going downfield. Tarasenko, or is that not Tarasenko? Dimachev gets it back. Galyada. Rusichenka. Galyada. And there's the big shot deep underneath it. Malitsau collects it for the score and to tie the game.
Just a tall drink of water.
Malitsau, I believe is how you pronounce your name. Although every time I pronounced one of the Belarusians' names, they all laughed and then went yes.
Oh,
which honestly introduces a degree of skepticism into my belief that I was nailing their names.
I know, we're trying to do the you know.
Well,
right,
as long as people appreciate the attempt. And I appreciate the attempt on that shot. It was a fantastic one from Galyada. That's the Malitsau.
It's amusing anyway.
So again, we're going to have another look at it. Same third, not advised. But when the throw is that good, plenty of float, excellent body positioning from Malitsau.
It's as tall as me.
So great stuff here out of Belarus, responding how you want to. 8-8, tying it up. This promises to be quite a gripping game as we enter the final 15 minutes.
Right. Captain with the disc. He's back on now, Lorcan, so
Budnik.
feel free to call his name. At least he's on the field.
The few names on the Belarusian side that has a mercifully small amount of syllables. Let's send that one out for a break. Now, Mazar. One of the two Mazars. So one of you's had your name called right the entire game, and the other one you haven't got it right.
We might never know ourselves.
Well, it's his own fault. So now Mazar looking for options. Kalakatska is the one he goes with. He just about rescues that. Huge undercut screaming forward in the form of 10 Bush.
Catching the shins.
Kalakatska gets it back to Prefo. Mazar decides against the pass directly in front of him. Has Kulakowska on a difficult break. Instead goes back to Prefo. And that is some tireless running downfield by Larson. Eventually gets it for the under. 99 on 99, but she puts that one a bit too far wide. Bounces out of the hands of, I believe, Clark. Kurtz, sorry.
I believed Clark.
I'd say most people would have as well. Budnik.
You shouldn't have corrected. We would never have known.
Good dedication to the craft. Sarakina sends back to Budnik, but that one just slipping away from him. And it's error after error right now. A terror of errors.
Right where? Right there.
Mazar into the middle. Prefo thinks about sending it back. Instead gives it to Mazar. There's the switch all the way across to Kulikowska. She takes a nice, comfortable break. 10 Bush. And Bush gets it across to Prefo, but just about. Then back to Mazar. Looking a little bit like rugby union out there with that pass. Back to Prefo. Mazar and McDuff's really taking their time. They have Larson in front of them. Goes instead for the very ambitious break to Kulikowska. Has options in front of them. Can't hit it. Was never really looking for the incredibly free Kasuya. You can understand if she took umbrage with that particular play. Excellent dump defense. It's getting higher, and Kurtz, I think, calling for contact from the mark. I'd agree with that call, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he was all over him.
Like a bad hair rash.
What?
It's like an American expression I heard once.
I've never heard that one before.
All over him like a Like a bad suit. That was it. All over him like a bad suit.
Rash.
It gives you a rash, I think, is the purpose. Look, I'm carrying the lion's share of the weight here, or should we say elephant's share.
Oh, rude. Is that a weight joke? That's not.
No, we're at Windmill. Herbie,
Oh, okay.
elephant.
Okay, good recovery.
Oh, but you want to talk about a bad recovery. Prefo had the opportunity to send them in for the score and just puts it too far ahead of his receiver.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see another timeout. At this point, it's been quite a while, quite a few turnovers.
So Budnik has the disc. Slowly walking to the front of the end zone.
While we watch right in front of us, the man having a
Sarakina.
while he's on this point.
Oh, Kasuya comes so close with the defensive block, but Shevchenko able to get there. Sends it down the line, brilliantly taken in by Taratsinya, who then sends it deep to the completely unmarked Marsh. Budnik, front of the end zone, man you want with the disc, where you want him with the disc. What can they do? The offenders filter through. Sarakina, equally adept at the crafty pop. That would have been sensational. But instead, unsatisfactory. So you have to think the McDuff just want to kind of jack it and get it out of there. Exactly how the Catholic Church wouldn't like you to. And there it is, the big shot deep. Kurtz all the way underneath it. It is a phenomenal put. Time to slow down, but excellently recovered.
Foul goal again.
I'm not sure about that one. Tarasenko has been
Oh,
involved.
no, he's retracted.
He has retracted.
Good.
Good call by Kurtz. You have to say Tarasenko made up the distance. I could see Kurtz trying to use his body, trying to get in the way, but Tarasenko seemed to come around and get the block. Those earlier two foul calls for the physical contact, he seems to have learned from them.
Yeah, that was all disc. And a little bit afterwards.
And you've got to commend the spirit by Kurtz. Says, oh, I'm not so sure about that. Gave himself a second to collect his thoughts and went, no, now I know. Legitimate D. Absolutely fine. Shevchenko thinks about sending it immediately back. Does on the second attempt. Budnik. Nobody cutting for him in the open side.
Nothing's wide open over here.
Sarakina.
It's real poachy on the.
It's very poachy. You can see that they're getting more and more tired. Shevchenko doesn't really gain any yards of that. Just moves further into the open side. Gets it to her twin brother, Shevchenko. He plays it down the line, and that's well taken in. Not an easy catch by any means by Marsh. Marsh pops back to Budnik. Nobody makes a deep cut. Tarasenko. Larson screams through to try and get the block, but doesn't get there in time. Good defensive pressure, but doesn't come up with anything as now Shevchenko, as Budnik decides against it. I'm loving this Budnik-Mazar matchup. The Prefo Shevchenko one has also been enjoyable. See Shevchenko. Kalikowska. And that bounces out of the hands of her receiver, although there's a foul on the throw, which would explain why it came out so blady. Excellent spirit by Kulikowska. Never doubting it.
I'm not calling a foul on my throat. It's terrible.
That's uncontested on my part anyway.
Thank you.
Now we see Budnik. Thought he was going to go all the way across, but he doesn't. Tarasenko. Thinking about sending it. Decides against it. Just pops it up. Plenty of float, but Mazar isn't putting that much pressure on. Preferring instead to ensure that he doesn't get broken.
A call's been made in the middle of the field there.
I think both teams realizing just how critical this point is with 10 minutes left to go. Tied at 8 apiece and the wind ever quite so blustery.
So players just working out where they needed to be.
Lovely throw down the line. Sarakina, front of the end zone. One of their best throwers. She's been steadying this offense all game long. Budnik might go for something slightly more ambitious. Instead just gets to Sarakina. That's what we've been talking about all game long. She just provides that option, gives them a bit of confidence and allows them to set it up for the beautiful swing and break for Belarus's first lead of the game.
And the time they wanted that with less than 10 minutes left.
An hour played. They go up by a point, 9-8. And with the wind at their backs on the next one, so a chance to double down. Although it isn't that strong wind, so I'm not sure how pronounced an opportunity that will be.
Might be badly pronounced.
Well, it's definitely badly pronounced if it's a Belarusian name.
Yes. High chance.
So now, McDuff. Stuck in a bit of a precarious position. Time always ticking. Remember, draws are possible at this part of the tournament. Swiss draw does not care about your pride, only about the iron rules of arithmetic. It doesn't suffer from dyscalculia.
Ha! I knew that would come back around.
Dyscalculia, I was trying so hard to remember it.
You did well.
Thank you. Sounds like a futuristic vampire prince to me. Dyscalculia. No. I am Count Dyscalculia.
No, that would be weird. I don't think you need to count there.
I think that's exactly what they need. But
oh no, he's dropped the ball.
Oh, that is a critical error.
Oh no. What a fumble, he did the old flipsy.
I don't want to name and shame the wrong person.
Just not name
That was
shame.
one of the Mazars.
The shame is there.
So now Budnik picking up on that front corner. Right outside the end zone, a chance to really lock this game away. How will Macduff respond? They're going with a little bit of a poach into the end zone. Trying to just get him to move it out. And I don't know what they were thinking there as Mazar immediately earns it back when it's thrown directly at him.
Yeah.
Ruse.
If you drop the ball, you've
Thinks
got
about sending it deep. Mazar is burning, but they don't get it to him in time, and he pulls out of the cut. Spofford. She recognized the opportunity in front of her. Kasuya turns, but the disc hits the ground. It's now Budnik with another chance. Or sorry, Kalyada.
That's twice you've confused them. They're very
I think that's a very small amount of time to confuse them, given how recently I learned their names. Kalyada.
One is
Huge shot all the way down the pitch. Coming in and wonderfully taken in. That was picturesque by Pimashev. Now he's on the front corner, not known as one of their stronger throwers. Able to get it back. Mahalitsa. She puts that one over the top. Can it be picked up at the other end? Dropping a bit too soon for a new free. I'm very sorry about that. So I just never seem to get your name exactly right.
All right, Macduff now with another chance.
Spofford, oh, that one was close. Kalyada is just trying to get that
Callahan
Callahan.
territory.
Ruse gives them the easy option. You've got to appreciate cutters like that. And there's the shot, finally. Mazar's down there. Kalyada wants to interrupt and does so!
Nice team.
Getting big against the tall man and launches it deep with it immediately in the other direction. Screaming after it, Pimashev tries to collect and bounces out of his hands. The ambition correct, the execution lacking.
That was a little bit exciting.
Just a little bit exciting. Like the first time you see some boobs through the window of a neighbor's house. God, I love working for Windmill. So now we see Gray. Roos. And he loads the second one up.
Oh, she's in a good position to chase that
Chasing
down.
it down. Brilliant collection. That is miraculous stuff by Cheng. Nien saying da to that one. Mazar front of the end zone. As the Ruse decides against the Stolkant's got to be getting high. Eventually able to get it through into the middle, and Chung waiting for it and popping it in for the score. Excellent response by McDuff, especially after Kalyada nearly turned the game on its head. Unfortunate drop, but McDuff responding brilliantly. That was an absolutely phenomenal grab by Nien Cheng.
Very good news for the man himself. He dropped the pool. Alrighty. Time ticking away here. About 5 minutes left on the clock. Scores back to level. I've had a Galaxy point and a Universe point in my first game. Lorcan, I've had a Galaxy point.
Shot. It's all excitement here at Windmill on the Friday.
Could be another Universe point game, depending how.
It's certainly shaping up to be one.
Yep.
I mean, we're in the 65th minute, so realistically...
2 points can happen.
So that would make it look more like a draw to me. I think 1 point will definitely be done before the time goes. So then it's a draw or a win.
Yep. Alrighty.
It's the dangers of the Swiss draw system. We have had a couple of very long points in this game, but in counterance we've had a couple of incredibly quick ones as well. disc. They've stolen the advantage. They started on offense, waited all the way until the second half to score, take the lead at 9-8.
He's been spooked by the drop.
Almost dropped that one himself. One good turn deserves another, as they say. That one rescued off the ground by Budnik. Somebody go deep for him after you make that kind of a catch. The adrenaline. You've got to take advantage. Good work between a few of them. Zhenka gets it to Budnik. The cutter's very far back. A wide open space in front of him. It is filled with the form of Volkman. Gagliarda pointing. But gets back himself. Classic misdirection. I think you're starting to see Weariness step in. Budnik, just where his team needs him at all times. The captain's roll. Brilliant cut by Lena. Getting the score.
We had the big cold, unfortunately.
So that one's going to go back. I believe that's Lena Nufrio.
She was completely free.
Difficult thing to stop.
Yeah.
Beautiful down the line cut by Gagliarda. Goes for the quick pop in and a great step out for the score. So that's a critical one. Naniva getting it. So, at a critical point in the game. So here we have another look at the score. The score that gives Belarus the lead that could seal this game for them. Macduff need to score, but not only do they need to score, they need to score within 2 minutes. So it's got to be a deep shot if they want to get the win, otherwise they're playing for the draw. Although you might be able to hear that music coming in
Just a cheeky
over our
little jingle.
microphones. That is time. So now Macduff playing for the draw. Budnik launching a beautiful pull. That's going to arc all the way back. Yeah, out. You should not take that. Yeah, exactly. Do not break it. They're bringing that all the way back up to where it came from. This would be a miracle if time hadn't just gone.
That's a lot of extra distance now for Macduff to get back, get the equaliser, and finish with the draw, which is a respectable win.
It is. Well, it's a respectable draw.
I mean, yeah. Moral victory.
That's the only kind of victory I ever get. Well, I've had a couple of immoral victories, in fairness. Now, Mazar, Roos immediately makes himself available, throwing himself to the ground, repositioning his gravity, his gravitas, something that has grounded this team all game long. They have Kulikowska in the end zone for the tie, but brilliantly D'd up. Excellent stuff by Sarokina, getting in, getting the block. Big time block. Do we dare say Eastern block? Just a little cold war humor for you people at home.
Logan, did you happen to spill your
I
drink
have
all
no
over
idea
the
what
desk?
you're, no idea what you're talking about.
Everything's a bit purple.
Say to you the same thing I said to the policeman. Prove it.
It's your Fanta can and your Fanta.
Yeah, it seems like you're doing just as good a job as he did. Enough about my criminal past, as now Belarus looking to steal something that would be justified, you have to say, based on their second half performance in this matchup. Gets it down the line to Shevchenko. Shevchenko trying to get it back in the middle. He has a completely free Tarasenko in front of him. Interesting to see who they go with on this final 7. Budnik's underneath it, tries to get huge. Well taken down by Kasuya.
Oh no, Budnik's on the ground.
Wouldn't have minded seeing a bit more of Kasuya over the course of this game. Great at getting the right position, maybe not quick enough. Spofford is another bright spot. Dare we say bright spot? She goes for that shot, but Budnik is able to recorrect. It always needed a bit more bop to get over the intended receivers. And that's time. So this will be the final point. Although Budnik seems to be calling timeout. You can't do that once time's been called. Someone Someone should tell him that's not allowed.
No, I think that's what's happening now.
Yep, that seems to be what they're telling him. That's technically an automatic turnover, sir. I mean, it is if you're playing.
Harsh will,
yeah,
calm down.
So we'll be fine. It is Windmill after all. It's only the second day.
We're
Here in the
all
beautiful
learning
sunshine.
together.
We're all in this together. High release flick to the break side. Shevchenko sends it down. Beautiful stuff. He takes out the opposite side, but bounces out of the hands of Faulkman. Falls over trying to collect it on the second try. Now we see Clefo going to the disc, picking it up. Getting ready for business. Ruse. Kalashkowska. She's using the middle instead. Goes with the lofty pass to Prefo. That was a visionary down the line pass. Kasuya makes an end zone cut, gets cut out by Mazar.
Travel code.
And it's back to her. It's back to Prefo. That's Kasuya behind him. He has Roos at 45 degree angle to his left. Options abound. Do any of them tickle his fancy? Tense moment.
Just goes back in.
Pops it over. Roos just about able to collect. They're set up well, but the cuts aren't quite coming yet. Kasuya, excellent stuff. Absolutely throws her marker away. Mazar able to collect it. Spofford makes a cut to the open side, but doesn't recognize it in time, but instead takes the shot to Nguyen Cheng to tie the game at 10 apiece, and that is the end. So, thank you very much for a very exciting second round game here in the mixed division. I've been Lorcan Murray. I've been joined by barely. If you could hear her, then you were doing better than most. But the spirit lives on as we see a battle between the old enemies, the evil empire, not so great Britain, taking on the plucky underdogs of the world, the indefatigable Irish. That's